Welcome back to Briggs on Books, where we talk to authors from all over the world about their life, their project, what they're working on. Um, one theme on this show is people who are overcoming adversity. They've lost a spouse, they've lost a job, they've going through rough times, and we like to talk to people who've overcome, who've worked through things, who could help us. There's an interesting book we've had on a few times, Free Fall, talking to somebody who's gone through some adversity and come out the other end, and now she wants to help other people overcome their adversity. Our guest is Barbara File. Welcome, Barbara.
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Very good. Now, my understanding is you're becoming a life coach where you can help some people through these adversities. Tell us about that.
Yes, as you know, Mike, I've done a lot of different things in my career, starting out with banking, and I was a financial advisor and a real estate broker. But then when my second husband became ill with early onset dementia 6 years after we got married, I felt a calling after he passed away 6 years later to write about our journey to bring awareness of the disease. And that was in 2020. So 4 years later, I'm like, I want to help people. And so I was searching for, what I would be best suited for. And I got an interesting email and an invitation to take a class. And I decided that this was what I wanted to do. I wanted to help either individuals or businesses achieve their dream life or business. And I thought with the experience that I had with my husband, because I was his caregiver for 2 years, that that would be one avenue where I could help people that after a loss or after a loss of job, that I could help them reinvent themselves and help them discover the qualities that they have that they haven't uncovered yet. And they could lead their dream life or successful career or business
Yeah.
that they wanted to do. So that's what I decided to do.
A lot of people, something happens to them. Uh, your husband got Alzheimer's, and you went through that. A lot of people go through things, and they feel like they're the first person hitting the wall like this, and that they have to figure out on their own how to get past this adversity. And that's why I liked your book. And you told, you were very frank and brave to tell your story, that you did get through it. And I hope other people get to read that book and say, oh, there's other people out there, there's resources, there's ways to move on. But you're going to take this to all aspects of life. People who've lost their job, or maybe just people who have lost their self-esteem.
Absolutely. Yeah, and there's people that and I'm one of them. You live your life by default because of circumstances that happen. That's how I got into banking
Yeah.
and the financial advising. And there is a way that you can find your best quality by working with a coach, and I have
Yeah.
found that out. And because of all the things I've gone through, now I understand why I went through them so that I could teach people myself.
Well, I tell you, Barbara, I'm one who studies this kind of stuff as well, overcoming, becoming successful, finding myself where I'm supposed to be. And I've studied that my whole life, but I've been very successful at many things, but I never stopped seeking and studying those things. So even if somebody's at a pretty good place in their life, I feel like spending some time with a life coach, you can overcome even more or achieve even higher.
Absolutely, because we all have limiting conditions at times, which are called paradigms,
Paradigms.
that jump in and you have this fear that you can't achieve things. And we can help you uncover that and find a way
Right.
to detract from that and achieve the things that you want to achieve and the vision of what you want your life to be.
I find it interesting you call them paradigms. You're studied at this. I'm not studied at it. I call them boulders. I feel like somebody up there keeps dropping these boulders that I've got to figure out how to get over, get around, get through, and you call them paradigms.
Right. And we all have fear from one thing or the other. And it's learning to befriend our fear,
Hmm.
to put the fear aside and say, not now. And then move on with the vision that you want for your life that, I can help uncover.
Yeah. I tell you that people I see around me who I think need to talk to Barbara File, people around me, is they have no vision of where they want to be or where they want to get to. And I feel like that's their boulder.
It can be. Yes, it can be. And I'm hoping to reach out to some of those people, and in particular, people that have been through what I've been through with a
Yeah.
loss, that feel like they, don't have any direction and they maybe lost their
Hmm.
self-confidence, that we can help them regain their confidence
Yeah.
and learn how to fight those fears and just go for it.
Are there people always whacking away at people, taking their confidence away?
Well, I think when you have a loss and you're in that mode of sadness, that you have to kind of regenerate yourself
Hmm.
to what your soul's purpose is. And a lot of us don't know that
Right.
because we live by survival, by default,
Hmm.
and we haven't given ourselves the time to, and sometimes meditate. So you listen to your intuition.
Mm. I forgot about meditating. Studied that years ago, and man, it really opened up my mind to things. But that's why even people who are doing okay could use a life coach, because they remind you about taking the time to meditate and things like that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
and we talk about loss, people who lose a loved one, but a loss could be losing a job. And sometimes you go to work and you do everything, you think you're doing everything right, and you do it right for years and years and years, and all of a sudden you're out. That could be a big confidence zapper right there.
Absolutely. Or you could still be in your job, but you're spending so many hours and you feel like you have no other life.
Hmm.
And there's a way to find out, that there are other things, and you
Yeah.
just need to uncover those things
Yeah.
and learn how to get rid of the fears of taking that next step.
Barbara, what's your next step? People need you. They need life coaches. You're developing a website, a way people can access you.
I'm in the process of doing that, Mike, and I'll be certified effectively the middle of October. So right now it's in its infancy, but it
Yeah.
will be up and running after mid-October.
Yeah. Uh,
But for now, they can reach me at the felicityjeanauthor.com.
okay.
And
Same website, felicityjeanauthor.com. By the way, I'm going to put up your book here, Free Fall, with the you wrote under the pen name Felicity Jean. Tell us a little bit about the book.
Well, a little bit about the book is really a lot. It took I started writing the book in 2013, which was a year after my husband passed away, and I self-published it in 2020. And it's my experience, my journey with my husband, who was diagnosed 6 years after we got married, and he passed away 6 years later. And it's a book that's not a clinical book. It's a book about the true experience of what a spouse goes through with the illness that he was diagnosed with. And it's not pretty in some of the pages of describing exactly what happens, but I wanted people to know what it's like
Yeah.
when you go and you live through that.
I wish I could certify you as a life coach, because you're somebody I've known for years and years and years who had giant successes in banking and in real estate and finance. And then you had another experience with your second husband and what happened with the early onset Alzheimer's. You've been through a lot, and I think you will be an excellent life coach. And I hope people will say, yeah, I need that, and contact you. Barbara, we're running out of time, but I want to give you a couple minutes to say anything you want about any subject.
Well, I just want to tell people out there that it's never over. Your life isn't over, even though it may feel like it is. You can reinvent yourself, and we have the capacity to keep learning.
Mhm.
I don't want to say how old I am, but I'm old enough.
Yeah.
And I have enough life experience to where I feel like I can help somebody move along in their direction to grow.
Yeah, and it's amazing. I don't want to say at your age, at our age, that you're taking another chapter. You're starting a new thing and heading in a new direction. It's never over, Barbara. Thank you for
That's
saying
right.
that. And for our
Sure.
viewers, when Barbara gets further along, gets her web address and stuff, we're going to have her back on again, and you can find out how to reach her. But for now, don't go anywhere, because we're going to have another author coming up right after this.